In 1857, far in the northern reaches where a ship lay trapped in the frozen sea, Captain Anderson struggled to free it. He commanded his crew to break the ice surrounding their vessel. That night, as Anderson sat alone in his cabin, a strange voice echoed from outside. Moments later, the ship's doctor, Utzon, burst in, reporting that he had seen a flare burning across the vast white ice. Anderson immediately gathered several men to investigate the light's source. Upon reaching the spot, they found blood scattered across the snow, and one sailor discovered a man lying helplessly on the ground. The man was Victor. Suddenly, the eerie voice returned, echoing through the silent night. Panicked, the crew carried Victor back to the ship. Anderson ordered everyone to arm themselves, preparing for an attack. Soon after, a terrifying creature emerged from the darkness. The crew fired, but the bullets did nothing. The monster roared furiously, tossing men aside like rag dolls before climbing onto the ship. It demanded that they surrender Victor. When they refused, a bloody fight began. One by one, the sailors fell. Finally, Anderson seized a gun and fired 3 shots at the creature, hurling it into the sea. Yet it still lived. The crew quickly raised the ladder to prevent its return. Enraged, the creature pushed the vessel toward danger. Anderson aimed at the ice beneath it and fired. The frozen surface shattered, and the monster plunged into the freezing depths, vanishing into darkness. Afterward, Utzon treated Victor's wounds and gave him sedatives. Weak and pale, Victor warned that the creature would come again, that it would hunt him relentlessly and could never die. He then confessed that he had created it. Filled with regret, Victor begged Anderson to promise that if the monster returned, he would give himself up to protect others. Then, Victor began his tale. He said his name meant the Conqueror, given by his father, a wealthy baron and esteemed scholar who had married his mother for wealth and prestige. His father was often absent, and when home controlled every aspect of the household, even their meals. Victor grew up amid constant quarrels about money and himself, leaving him fearful and alone. His father tested him endlessly with medical questions, punishing him harshly when he failed, never physically, to maintain his reputation as a respected physician. One day, before another departure, Victor's mother went into labor and began to hemorrhage. His father took her to the small operating room, leaving Victor outside in terror. Soon after, she died. A part of Victor's world was gone forever, replaced by deep loneliness. Years passed. Victor's younger brother, William, became their father's pride, while Victor faded into obscurity. Envy and confusion consumed him. He could not understand how a man as skilled as his father had failed to save his wife. Those thoughts grew into obsession. One day, Victor confronted his father, accusing him of letting his mother die. His father coldly replied that death was beyond human control. Furious, Victor vowed to prove him wrong, to conquer death itself and surpass his father's knowledge. In his dreams, he saw a dark-winged figure, an angel of shadow, feeding his determination. He would become the master of life and death. The story then returned to the frozen north, where the mysterious creature rose once more from beneath the ice. Years earlier, after their father's death, William had gone to live with relatives in Vienna, while Victor traveled to London, later studying in Edinburgh. In 1855, at the Royal College of Medicine, Victor presented a radical theory about life and death. He claimed that while birth could not be controlled, death might be delayed or even overcome. Humanity, he said, could achieve miracles through science and should challenge, not obey, nature's laws. Professor Sontag, his mentor, doubted him, demanding proof. In response, Victor revealed a corpse, its arm replaced with that of a carpenter, and demonstrated his experiment. With meticulous skill, he joined every muscle and tendon and nerve, connecting a special device. Before a room of astonished scientists, the body moved. Victor explained it responded to an electrical current. Outraged, Sontag condemned the experiment as immoral. To prove him wrong, Victor threw a ball toward the body, and to everyone's shock, it caught it. Smiling, Victor said, its brain decided to catch it. Still, Sontag dismissed the experiment as unnatural. That night, frustrated yet proud, Victor wandered through Edinburgh's streets where he met Henrich Harman, a relative of William's. Henrich told him William was soon to marry their niece, Elizabeth, and praised Victor's brilliance, though he warned that ambition could destroy him. He invited Victor to stay for 3 days, promising to show him something that might change his destiny. Victor agreed, bringing his research notes. Henrich revealed his own knowledge of medicine and technology. Once a military doctor, he now ran an ammunition factory and maintained a private lab filled with peculiar devices. He demonstrated resin-based preservation methods that displayed the human circulatory system in detail. Henrich offered Victor full access to his resources on one condition. One day, Victor would owe him a favor. Victor politely said he would consider it and left. Later, he reunited with William and met Elizabeth at a tense family dinner. William accused him of arrogance, while Elizabeth condemned his work as a violation of nature's laws. When the others left, Elizabeth told Victor that soldiers fought and died for honor, not for power over life, and then walked away. Victor's health declined as unrest spread outside the city. Meanwhile, far away, the creature, his future creation, watched the frozen ship from a distance. Weeks later, Henrich invited Victor and William to a castle on the Danube, promising full support for Victor's research in exchange for partnership. Victor accepted. Using the bodies of executed criminals, he began collecting organs for his experiments. Public hangings provided endless material. Horrified, Elizabeth turned to the church for comfort, unaware that Victor, disguised as a priest, overheard her confession. She called him cruel and manipulative, but before leaving, revealed she knew he was there. At a later gathering, Victor and Elizabeth spoke of science and nature under the moonlight, rekindling a brief warmth between them. But soon, Victor returned to his work, obsessed with reanimating dead flesh. When progress stalled, Henrich grew impatient and threatened to end the project within a week. Days later, Elizabeth visited the lab, confessing she felt a strange connection with Victor. Before they could kiss, she reminded him that humans have free will, unlike creatures created without choice, and left. Desperate and exhausted, Victor nearly abandoned his work, until sudden inspiration struck. He placed a battery near the lymphatic system of a corpse, and the body moved. Overjoyed, he realized he had found the key to life itself. Victor and Henrich began gathering fallen soldiers' bodies for further tests. The lab became a grotesque chamber of death. During a violent storm as lightning flashed, Victor prepared his final experiment. Henrich, gravely ill, begged Victor to transfer his consciousness into the new body, but Victor refused. It was impossible. Enraged, Henrich sabotaged the tower, fell, and died. Ignoring his death, Victor continued. Lightning struck, electricity surged, and the creature lived. It rose before him, mimicking his gestures like a child. "I am Victor," he said. And the creature repeated his name. Victor embraced his creation and showed it the world beneath the castle. He cared for it like a father, though fear soon took root. The creature learned quickly, but could only echo Victor's name. When William and Elizabeth visited, she discovered the creature imprisoned and pitied it. But Victor, consumed by jealousy and rage, blamed it for ruining his life. He set the laboratory ablaze and fled as the creature screamed his name. Trapped in flames, it broke free and was swept away by the river. It wandered alone through forests and ruins, hiding from mankind. In one remote cabin, it secretly aided a blind old man and his family until fear and misunderstanding ended in tragedy. Grief-stricken, the creature returned to the castle's ruins. Meanwhile, Victor tried to rebuild his life. William's wedding promised joy, but during the celebration, the creature appeared, seeking not vengeance, but recognition. The guests attacked in fear, and the night descended into bloodshed. When Victor saw the carnage, guilt consumed him. The creature pleaded only for compassion and companionship, but Victor refused again, vowing never to play God. The monster fled into the snow, and Victor followed, both vanishing into the northern wastes. Back on the frozen ship, the story came full circle. The creature appeared once more, gazing at Victor with sorrow. "If you wish to end this, do it now," it said. But Victor looked back not with hate, but remorse. Trembling between anger and love, the creature whispered, "I forgive you." With one final act of strength, it pushed the ship free from the ice, setting it adrift into open waters. And thus, the story ended.